from Truth Out. Now I'm going to tell you guys right away, Truth Out and New Republic, I got these two pulled up first. These are leftist publications. Keep that in mind. We're just going to walk through where we're currently at with this claim that Trump's best or only option in destroying Fordo is a nuclear weapon. Truth Out reports, U.S. reportedly assesses only a nuclear bomb could destroy Iran nuclear facility. One expert has warned that attacks on nuclear facilities should never take place because of radioactive fallout. We have this from the New Republic. Trump White House considers dropping nukes on Iran. Fox News reports that Donald Trump may consider using nuclear weapons to eliminate Iran's Fordo nuclear facility. We have this from the Daily Mail exclusive. Pentagon insider reveals why Trump's best option is to use a tactical nuclear weapon to obliterate Iran's deadly labs, saying only a tactical nuclear warhead would be certain to destroy Iran's key uranium enrichment base hidden inside a mountain, a military official has told the Daily Mail. It comes amid doubts that the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs would be enough to destroy the secretive facility at Fordo, 60 miles south of Tehran. Tactical nukes are meant for battlefield use and do not carry the same devastating payloads as strategic nukes, which are used to topple cities. In this case, the warhead selected could be sized for the Fordo site, though no tactical nuclear weapon has ever been used in combat before. Israeli officials have urged American forces to deploy multiple GBU-57 bunker busters to cripple Fordo, a plant being used to enrich uranium hundreds of feet underground. The depth shields the lab from airstrikes. We then have this. Newsweek, is Donald Trump considering tactical nukes against Iran? What we know. They say the administration has not taken anything off the table, including the use of tactical nuclear weapons. If it decides to take military action against the underground Iranian facility at Fordo, Fox News reported, citing a White House official. We then have this from Mediaite. White House denies Trump ruled out using a tactical nuke on Iran. And the root of this is The Guardian. Trump caution on Iran strike linked to doubts over bunker buster bomb, officials say. There are several things to consider that's now coming out. Donald Trump reportedly asked, can these bunker busters even take out this facility? And the answer is maybe not. The reason? These things are designed to penetrate 200 feet. Fordo is 300 feet, which would mean they would need multiple successive strikes in the exact same spot. That means one bunker buster goes in, detonates, and then in the crater, they need to send another one. The other issue, Iran has built the facility specifically underground because of the bunker busters, meaning it's also spread out. So a single successive strike of multiple bunker busters may not even stop this. And I believe Jack Posobiec said on Bannon's War Room, it may actually just slow them down a year or two and doesn't solve the problem that Trump and others in the U.S. are purporting is there. Now, there's a question and a debate as to whether or not, one, they're actually going to make a nuke. Tulsi Gabbard says they've got the materials. They are enriching it above what they would need for power, but they don't believe they're working towards a nuke. That was March. If that is the case, that the U.S.'s position is they cannot have the ability to enrich uranium at those levels for whatever reason, be it they build a nuclear bomb and launch it, or they give fissile material to a bunch of rebel lunatics, it stands to reason based on the reporting. At least what they want the public to think is that the only way they can do it is with a nuclear strike. Now, why would they do that? My opinion, big ask. You run out of the press, headline after headline after headline, saying Trump, his only option is a nuke, and they're not ruling it out. Then, when they say, guys, I have an idea. What if we just send people on the ground into Iran and we don't have to use a nuclear weapon? Then people are going to go, whoa, oh, yes, a boots on the ground invasion is the preferable choice.
I wouldn't say that.
You think a nuke is better?
No, I don't think either of those options work for me.
And this is the big ask. It's tell people we have to do a nuke and then say, we could do an invasion. You pick. And everyone, of course, is going to choose invasion.
I don't see MAGA base in choosing an invasion. So no attempt with the bunker buster. No, don't drop a mop. Don't even try it. I understand what you're saying about the precision needed. It reminds me of the blockbuster with Tom Cruise, the second Top Gun. It was like an unbelievable movie about them hitting a target twice. They had to hit it 2 times and come up out of that curve, not get hit by the SAMs. It was impossible, and only one guy could do it, and it was Tom Cruise.
And that was Iran.
And it was Iran.
So Top Gun Maverick, right?
Right.
They were calling it the enemy in the movie, but it was very obviously Iran.
Obviously.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was an underground facility and it had a tiny little hole that they had to hit. And it was like an impossible task. And of course, Tom Cruise was able to do it.
Like Star Wars.
It was exciting. Oh my gosh. It was exactly like, oh, don't get me started. Okay. So I'm just saying, I would not buy that. Now, I understand the subterfuge you're talking about and selling it. And Trump is good at that. That's one of his main things is he can sell people on things they don't want. He's a deal maker. But we're talking about Americans who literally, I remember giving speeches in D.C. about the never-ending wars in the Middle East, how much money we've spent, how much treasure, and how Trump is not that guy. He doesn't believe in starting wars. He doesn't believe in entering issues or situations foreign policy-wise that we don't have a tactical and strategic objective that we can meet or succeed and win and get out. But I can't see them doing that. I can't see them doing either of those scenarios without dropping the mop first.
You want to read that headline?
Ban and MAGA will get on board if Trump decides, yeah, okay, yeah. So he's a tactical overlord with language, right? He is an unbelievable historian, but I'm not with him on that. And I'm as big as it gets on MAGA. I've been to Mar-a-Lago 6 times. I've met President Trump numerous times. I have my picture with him numerous times. I believe in the guy. I don't believe in that. I don't want
Stacey,
boots on the ground. I don't want it.
So I get what you're saying. Is it your sense that MAGA would forgive Donald Trump, would forgive the GOP by the time the midterms roll around if they took some kind of action now? Because it's my opinion that the only thing that can happen that will prevent the Republicans from having at least a good showing and can really derail the President Trump's agenda is a bad economy. And
well,
I think that
if they
even
don't pass
this
the big
would,
beautiful bill, that's major due if you want to have a good midterm result, because going into the midterms with no accomplishments, no achievable legislation that was actually passed, it's a do-nothing Congress again, a president who can't control them. You have to pass the BBB. But on this, so 2 scenarios. The first one, he sells everybody on that. We sit here and hold our breath. He goes in, he's successful. Fordo is eliminated, and we're out. That is a pristine situation that is so improbable. It defies all of the logic that we've seen in every other war we've engaged in. But if that were to happen,
that would have no
the
effect
midterm
on
is a
him.
piece of cake.
Yeah, that would have no effect on him. Yeah.
More likely, we put boots on the ground. The tactical nuke is an obvious, easy go. He just has to get the buy-in for that and hope that nobody else wants to get involved. But if we go in with boots on the ground, we're there. We might as well open up a military base, send over one of those big cornerstones they put in the ground every time we build something overseas. We're there forever. We just got done with that. That was with disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. That Americans are exhausted by that.
Israel had reportedly stated that if the U.S. doesn't want to get involved, they'll use commandos. But the idea, so we have the map here. Here's Tehran. I pulled this up quite a bit. Here's Qom. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But just south, if Google Earth ever decides to actually
in the
load.
mountains too?
Yeah, it's 60 miles south. It's right over here. Fordo, you can see it. Fordo. Okay. So look where my mouse is. You want to get there with human beings? That's dead center in Iran. There's no way human beings are getting in there, getting in that facility and taking it out. You're going to need ordnance. They're going to have to carry that deep underground with a massive facility, which has what, like 1,000? How many personnel are down there? Thousands?
Oh, that we know of. Who knows?
And so
Wait a minute. They control the airspace over Iran. They drop in the 101st Airborne, 82nd Airborne, and then they take control of the area.
How are you getting out?
I mean, obviously, you have to control the whole thing in order to get out.
Literally,
You said they couldn't get in. They can get in.
drive to
Getting
Iraq.
out is a problem.
You
but
drive out through Iraq. Literally, you drive to Baghdad, and all
You
that
drive
stuff gets
from central Iran.
drive out. You're driving.
they have to get to high ground.
You're
and get
dropping
back down.
What are you driving? You're stealing?
No. You don't. That wouldn't be just a commando raid. Like she said, they have no air cover. They have no air.
Which means you're going to have to land planes.
so
You're going to
yeah,
find an airfield.
big army
Land a
stuff.
ton of them.
Yeah, I'm talking about big army stuff.
I'm fairly certain that if you started landing planes, even with control of the skies, you are going to be surrounded by hails of gunfire.
Absolutely will be.
So I don't see that as a
Absolutely.
reality to get humans on the ground unless you this is insane. You're going to have to Tehran is 10 million people. I don't see a reality. So when
They're largely on the move evacuating out, but we already have, I think, 18 Patriot battalions they moved over that were elsewhere that they've moved into the Middle East. That was about a month ago.
But sorry, I mean
600 people each plus all munitions and associated material.
I'm just saying in terms of the population density of the area, we're talking driving distance to 10 million people in a metro. Now, obviously, most of these people are not going to be engaging in combat, but it takes only a tiny percentage of 10 million to completely overrun anything you land in the region. So, we often talk about why guns are so important in this country, and the liberals don't get it. Joe Biden's like, you want to go up against the U.S., you're going to need F-16s. And it's like, right, because an F-16 can occupy a street corner. It can't happen.
No, it can't.
This is why anybody who's played StarCraft or Warcraft or Command and Conquer knows one of the best strategies, what do they call it, zerging?
Yeah.
You mass produce tons of little dudes. You don't worry about, so in these strategy games, you can build up your bases, build high-tech weapons, and then some dude just says, give me 50 billion little 1-1 soldiers and just send them all in and you win.
And you also, in the more advanced strategies, they'll make a mass of 1-1 tiny crap that they'll send out to distract the artillery, and then you send the big guns in behind those little guys.
Zerging.
Yeah, behind the Zerg, you send the big guns.
My point, and I think Zerg is a reference to the smallest military unit in StarCraft.
Yes,
Is that what it is?
it's a race in StarCraft. The Zerg, it's this insectoid race that impregnates and takes over planets and humans, the Zerg.
Well, I don't play that game. I'm in the last century. I play Age of Empires, but I'm just going to say I've been to the Middle East, and I agree with you about the topography, but the issue isn't that. We have 40,000 troops there already. At max we've ever had there is 500,000, but that was at the height of the conflict. We don't have a problem mustering people, getting them into location. We don't have a problem managing other groups. Air control is what that's called. F-16s buzzing the ground, sonic, hitting the sonic boom, knocking the windows out of everything. People will not stand against that. They will disperse. Whoever's left, because you only have to do that once and people are scattering. So it's not about that. It's about the will. Do we want to go in? Do we want air control? How many jets do we want? USS Nimitz is steaming there right now. They're going to be close in a couple of days. They're going to be in theater. There's a lot of buildup.
But let's try this. How many jets would you need for what is it called when it gets close to the ground and does a sonic boom?
They're buzzing the ground,
Buzzing the ground.
basically clearing the area so that troops can move.
How many of those jets do we have, and how long can they operate?
We have 4 air forces. We have over 14,000 aircraft. So
But we're not going to send 14,000
we don't
fighter
have
jets
to.
to
We don't
Iraq.
have to. Once the USS Nimitz gets there, we'll have plenty. We'll have plenty in the area.
There's 2 strike groups. That's a lot of air.
But that's just what's on the water, Tim. We have air bases there. That's the 40,000.
Certainly. I just am still not convinced that the central Iran, densely populated, will be so that you're going to deal with single individuals with bombs and guns.
No, you need to invoke a revolution among the Iranian people.
Let's just talk about Afghanistan and the Taliban. I mean, we had all this. We were there for 20 years, and we still weren't able to stop a bunch of goat herders in caves with guns.
But they had tunnels, and they had time on their hands.
But these are major metro cities, highways, and there's weapons and infrastructure there already. So, I mean, we're not talking about going to cave guys with tunnels and, respect that is powerful defense. We're talking about a developed mountainous nation where we would have to land vehicles to send troops in to go into one site 60 miles south of Tehran, which I imagine is heavily fortified.
And what's the purpose here? If we blew up the nuclear program, then what? In 3 years they have another one? It's obviously regime change. They want the.
But that's what Bibi Netanyahu said on TV last week. So I agree with you that the boots on the ground scenario is the worst one for us. It's the worst. It's the one the American people support the least. And I'm not talking about just MAGA people. Overall, 65% of Americans do not want war. So, and then the rest of them, I don't know if they're crazy nut jobs or how do we even get that big of a percentage? But I think, so President Trump has always been a flood the zone guy. He's always been like that. So that's what this feels like. He puts a lot of military equipment out front. He puts it in the face of the Iranians. They're still reeling. They lost 19 of their people over the past week. Leadership people. They're afraid. They're worried about traveling. They want to decamp from Iran. They can't because they're afraid they're going to get killed. They're now making some tacit promises that they won't kill this one. They won't kill that one. I think they're going to kill whoever they can. They've been very, very effective, the Israelis so far. But I can't see a scenario where we go in with tactical nukes and especially boots on the ground where we haven't tried the bunker buster.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.